Hey guys, I am here to pull a few cards for you today. I am trying to see what Spirit would have you to know. Apocalypsis and the Storm. The Storm popped out. I think I started shuffling before it started to record. It gives me a little countdown, and that one had flipped over right on the top of the deck. So something's big going on with the Storm and the Apocalypsis. It's like, ooh, the prayer, the comic. Okay, so I'll figure those out in a minute. I'm going to get energies off of them, but I am also going to pull some cards to figure out what's happening. So we got the Archetype deck. We have Energy Oracle, and then I'm going to pull a bit of I'm going to get Animal Spirits as well. What do we need to know here? What do we need to know? And I'm feeling really guided right this minute to do like a almost like a you versus them. You know what? Let's do this. How is my collective feeling at the moment? What is going on with my collective that we're tapping into today? Oh, okay. The collective that I'm tapping into today. Oh, okay. Alright. Got adjacent possibilities in the reverse and walking away in reverse. And the person, the other energy in this reading, please. Tell me more about the other energy in this reading, because I'm feeling real strongly that there's you and there's also someone else. Not certain of who the someone else is at this point. Oh, alright, well there's the two. Door to romance in reverse. Indecision, oof, and anxiety. So there's a decision that needs to be made with this big time. They walked away from romance with you, so this is a love reading for sure. There's a heart in a cage there. They wish to, okay, they see, hold on. Okay, everything is coming at one time. Sorry about that. Can I get I feel strongly that this is your person here and this is your energy here, so I'm going to go with the collective's energy, the whale, and then may I have the person on the collective's mind, the other energy here. Oh, okay. I got something flipped over, the hyena and the shark. They weren't great to you. They were not great to you. They were kind of cutthroat. Hold on. And the connecting energy. Oh, that was fast. The bee working together? Okay. Anything else about the connecting energy here? The connecting energy here. Ooh, there's just heavy. It's heavy. Connecting energy here. Anything else? Just the bee? Anything else, Spirit? The black egg. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, guys. So let's take a look here. Bear with me a minute while I get tidied up a bit. What are these? It's connecting energy, I guess. These two were stuck to the bottom of the deck. That's interesting. A contract and Cornucopia. I'm going to take them. Because they were literally under this book. I picked up, shuffled. Okie dokie. Alright. Well, let's keep these separated. These are your cards. This is connecting. And then this would be you. Let me move things around a little bit here. Okay. So, this is a soul contract. With the black egg and the contract card coming out here, you guys were meant to work together to do something, and ultimately, you could be a life path 6 or an 11. And to find your life path, you add your full date of birth together. You could be born on the 6th. You could be born in June. You could be born on the 11th. You could be born in November. 27 or 9. 6 or 24 could be. 18. 3, 3. There are a lot of master numbers here too, or 2 master numbers. Let's go in. Let's see what we got. Put my glasses on. I'm going to start with this connecting energy because I really feel like you guys are meant to have to work together to do something. You have a spiritual contract that will result in happiness and complete, like Cornucopia is like the 10 of Cups plus the 10 of Pentacles type of a card. It's like a everything. It is supposed to result in a beautiful connection. But I want to start here with the Black Egg. This is a spirit card. Let's see. Speaking from an authentic voice or the truth. The Black Egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. You're supposed to work together to show other people the truth, to enlighten or help to awaken people. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. You could be to come together to really speak out about something that needs to be spoken on. We start asking questions like, okay, sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? What is true about the world? When the energy of the Black Egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the Black Egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment and every situation. It is the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. I'm being called to say, with the shark and the hyena above, in the past, this person hasn't been truthful. They haven't been truthful. They've hidden a lot from you. And the connecting energy, if it's not there yet, needs to be that there's some truth that needs to be had. Period. Their soul contract. You may be in separation right now and learning some things about yourselves. This person may be really self-examining to figure out, why did I lie to this person? This is my person. Why did I lie? Why was I so bad to this person? With the anxiety and indecision here and the door to romance in reverse, they took. They didn't give. There was no reciprocity here. There was no reciprocity. They did not meet you. They just came in to took whatever they could get. Without anything, giving you anything in return. And made there's throat chakra blockage. I'm having a whole lot. The truth really needs to come out. In this situation, I'm feeling like this person may have run when it got hard because they couldn't tell you what was on their mind. They have a very blocked throat chakra. Very blocked throat chakra. They love you, but they're terrified. This causes them great anxiety, and they walk when things get difficult. They cause an apocalypse. Basically, we've got apocalypses here, and we have the prayer. They're praying that they haven't screwed this up so bad that it's over. That you've locked that door to romance forever. Because they know their happiness, finding truth in themselves, coming to terms with healing their inner self, will result in a beautiful, beautiful relationship with you. They find peace with you. They find peace with you, but they feel like you're looking, and you may be, at adjacent possibilities and, going into other doors or opening up other doors to other people. Because you got tired of this nonsense, the lies, and you knew it. It's not like you didn't know. They were playing in your face and playing you for a fool. So it could have caused you to shut the door and walk away. There's a lot of open doors here, but this card's in reverse, which tells me you may really have resisted walking away, but you felt like you needed to. You needed to shut these doors to this person because they needed to go within. You know, and this caused you a storm. You may have, you know, the comic, it talks about, you could be really funny. I mean, you could make jokes and have sarcasm, but you could, you know, tease and whatever. But sometimes I think for this person up here, it may feel like an attack. They misunderstand, like, the truth that they need to look at themselves. You're not picking at this person. I'm sorry, this is really, I'm feeling super blocked right now for some reason, super blocked. Let me go ahead and just read for the moment. The black egg, it represents the 5th chakra, okay? Oh, the throat chakra, duh. That makes perfect sense. The subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat, the Vishuddha chakra. The ancient sages saw this center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Vishuddha translates to especially pure. The balance of this center is important for all of us, but it is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. Because how are you going to teach, sing, get anything out, write a song, whatever, if you can't communicate? Let's go with a B. I'm really fascinated by this. I don't want to skip around. I'm feeling really anxious, like I am skipping around, and it's not real effective that way. Yeah, there's a heavy feeling of, and I open right up to the B, interesting. It's a really heavy feeling of trying to protect oneself and like being really guard up is what's coming to mind. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is completed. They're sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. Excuse me, when I start speaking my truth, I burp. Pardon. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work, and then they gripe, and then they sting. When in balance, content, active, and vibrant. When out of balance, overworked and annoyed. To bring into balance, a mini vacation. Let me continue with reading the connecting energy first, because I feel like it went right open to Cornucopia. In the upright, a harvest and great blessings are waiting for you. You may even find all your wishes fulfilled. Like I said, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, all in one card. This connection is supposed to be the Cornucopia for the both of you. This scares the crap out of this person. You may have been completely ready for this and said, let's do this. Let's do our healing together. Let's go. You know, let's tell the truth, let's be honest, let's create, let's be a joy to the world, let's help other people with our knowledge. And this person was like, oh, nope, can't do it. And they ran because they weren't as ready as you are. They were not there yet. So when you receive the Cornucopia upright, you know that you've done the important work and it's about to pay off. The seeds you planted in your energy and in your life are ready to be harvested in some significant ways. Get ready for a great feast of abundant value is being prepared for you now, and Spirit is applauding all your effort. I do have to say something really fast and get it out. If this person stays unready, it's fine, because you will not be forfeiting your blessings because this person wasn't ready. You'll just walk this path alone for now, and someone else with this adjacent possibilities, these doors are not open right now because you're to focus on your vision. Whatever that vision is, you need to stay completely focused on the vision. It's in your contract, your spiritual contract. So whatever you're being called to align with right now, not inclusive of this person or inclusive of this person, whatever, you need to do your part of it. Because even if this person decides, because there's always free will at play here, even if this person decides with their indecision card that they're not ready, they can't, you're not going to forfeit your blessing or cornucopia. You're still going to get yours. Theirs will definitely be delayed, you know, until they make a choice to come into their truth, which is required of this situation to fulfill this contract, to get this cornucopia for them as well. For you, you're already fulfilling your portion of this contract. You're on path to receive all of the cornucopia. So I feel like amazing, amazing, amazing things are in store for you. They're coming, and they're coming in quick. Sorry, it was just felt imperative to get that out ASAP. I don't know what that was about, but it was needed. Okay, so we have this card upright shows a contract in the background ready to be signed, indicating a committed connection of some sort. This union may be a business deal, the sale of a home, a new job, or even a commitment in marriage. Whatever the connection, this card is more than a casual agreement. This is a spiritual contract right here. It's usually something that requires a document that's binding, at least for the time being. The scales of justice also indicate that's Libran. You know, Libra type of energy. Sorry. The scales of justice also indicate that if a legal action is underway, it's likely to turn out in your favor. This card shines a light on potential new opportunities, so remain aware and receptive to what may be coming your way. It's coming your way. The person can join you and start to do their work only as fast as they're ready. Because again, you can't force anybody to do what they know they need to do, and they are being called by the divine to do it. They may have been being called for a long time, and maybe you came into this situation and you had to walk away so that they could feel the pain of the loss of you. Because they knew they couldn't come back into this situation. They couldn't come back into this without doing the work. They can't just come in for free. It doesn't work that way. Everyone must do their own, healing. Gotta do it. I'm going to pull a connecting energy card for archetypes because I'm looking at... Okay, that was fast. The warrior. You're supposed to fight together. The seed. There it is. The planting of the dang seed. Again. That's referencing to seed. Planting that seed and moving forward. The contract. Starting something new. The warrior, though. Let's look. The warrior. Pop right open. Connecting energy. The samurai, the soldier, the advocate. You guys are supposed to advocate for people that can't advocate for themselves. I'm being called to say, whatever that looks like for you, it's going to be absolutely different for everybody. You could be a victim of abuse that you've, gotten out of. In whatever form or fashion, wounding. You've been through a crap load, both of you. So it's now time to step into the energy of helping other people heal whatever they're going through. This has got a snake wrapped around it. I'm being really called to the snake. It is the year of the snake. It's supposed to happen this year. This is the year of This is the year of transformation. The 9, the snake, in the Chinese zodiac. We often envision the warrior as an armored figure with a sword in hand moving blindly towards battle, yet the deeper aspects of this archetype bring us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. They know if they don't align, they can't come into their purpose with you. They must do their healing work and align. There's out of balance with this adjacent possibility. These in reverse, there was something in this door to romance in reverse. There's an alignment that wasn't taking place here. There wasn't, because of the fact that you did your work, but they won't. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. Or they, you know, or they surrender, I want to add. They walk away. You know, they get cowardly and they're like, nope, not going to do it. Just going to go. Because, you know, some people are conflict avoidant like that. They're not willing to do the work and step in and say, okay, I'm looking at this and I've got to take care of this and I got to get it together right now. Confirmation. It's likely a great one with deep roots and long-standing tensions. It says, sorry. When this card appears, it's important to question the battle at hand. It's likely a great one with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within, then surrender to the battle. When in light, fierce clarity, purposeful action, resolve, and resilience. When in dark, threats, savagery, abandoning mission and values. So, yeah. Be careful, as the warrior implies war. The two go hand in hand. Those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. So, you guys are going to war for others. You're supposed to. That's the mission. That's what's in this contract here. Without a true purpose, manifesto, or oath, the warrior is lost. What do you stand for? What are you willing to rise in the name of? Write it out. And then the seed. Let's see. Okay. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around it. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what it agitates in you, as it's a sure sign of growth to come. You're to grow together. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. With the pearl coming into play, I'm seeing someone who has been closed in the past closes off at any sign of something coming at it, like the oyster is like, no. You know? No. We're shutting it down. You're coming for me. I'm shutting it down and I'm pulling back. The true seed is elusive. If we follow any story toward its origin, it spirals farther and farther back in time. In this way, we are always the seed and always the fruit it bears. One of the alchemist's favorite images was the pearl. The irritant over time becomes the treasure. What is your grit? You have a big... This is beautiful. The combined energy between you is absolutely freaking amazing. I absolutely love, love, love it. You only got one card here. I want to pull one more animal card for you. I want to pull... Okay, the hummingbird. I'm not pulling the scorpion. How funny. That's like the phoenix rising. I'm going to leave that there, though. Just notable mention to the scorpion. Scorpio could be in your chart. Let me see here. I'm going to go with the storm, because for you... I'm going to see how this relates. Oh, man. 157. Let's see here. Possessing an energy much like the tarot's tower card. Oh shit, the tower was here too somewhere, wasn't it? Wasn't it? No. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, I'm losing it. That might have been something I pulled for a personal spread earlier. Okay. The storm undoes all that is. Everything that it was solid, known, and relied upon is stripped away by the winds of fate. This could be Scorpionic energy too. Second reference to Scorpio in your pile. You may have heavy Scorpio placements like I do. With the Scorpion being, you know, notable mention here, maybe I should pull him and read him too. Because the storm talks about the tower, which the tower is Scorpionic energy. So the ground becomes the sky becomes the center, and then the center disappears. The storm is a great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on the path, no matter our age, wealth, or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. Their disturbing howls stir anxiety. And anxiety is in your person's thing. You're stirring up anxiety within this person because they know they need to change. So you are coming in as a catalyst for this person's change as it relates. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the storm, you'll lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter and reliable friend. Your person may have had to back off because the catalyzation process, this is no joke. Okay, the tower takes everything and levels it. And you may have really caused this person to go in and see everything that they've been standing for as a mess. That it needs to be leveled and knocked the hell down and start over again. You know, with honesty, with self. With the truth being a heavy, heavy thing in your connecting energy, that would make perfect sense. So they may have had to pull back so that they could take a look at themselves. You know, and sit with themselves. And for a while, it seems like with their indecision, they could have really been deluding self. And maybe they got in some meditation. I feel like at nighttime was a crazy time for them where they had to settle down. Like their mind, they could have preoccupied themselves with drink, drug, work, other people, whatever. But at nighttime, when they were by themselves, trying to go to sleep, it caused them to really soul search, pray, meditate, because we got the prayer up there for them. And mull over, you know, why they ran, why they closed off. What truth is it that they're not trying to face here? There, for a moment, you settle into the eye of the storm. Okay? The storm lays bare the truth. There's truth again. That there are forces larger than you. The understanding of this is a relief, but also a predicament of power that requires your surrender. The storm's intention is to rebalance your equilibrium. It's a result of precarious conditions, not the cause of them. So this person knows you came in with love. You came in with love. You didn't cause them or come in to cause them chaos. They've been causing themselves chaos. You came to open it up and show them. This is what you've made of your life. How are you going to change this to make this better for yourself and to apply it to help other people? Because at the core, you could see that this person had a good heart. They may have been the most selfish bastard in the world. But you could tell at the core of things, they really did want to be a good human and to give. And that they had a lot of knowledge to impart to others. But they wanted to live in a world where they could control things. I feel like they really wanted to control things. They got into relationships they could control, where they could control their emotions. They weren't called out to do any better or any of that. But when you came in like the storm that you are, Scorpion, with Scorpion tendencies, whatever, they were like, oh shit, I don't know. I'm not sure about this. Meaningful obliteration and annihilation when in light. But when in dark, meaningless disorder and dysfunction. So go deeper. The tornado scene in The Wizard of Oz. Alright. Let's see the comic for you. Let me see. 113. The Joker, the Clown, and the Fool. They could have played you for a fool, I'm thinking, and you might have made lots of jokes. You might have been goofy. And you probably opened up a little level of goofiness in this person that they did not exactly feel like they could be with anybody else. They felt like they had to be hard ass with everyone else, but with you, they could laugh and joke and be goofy and be weird, and it's fine. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as a lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. They like the way you think about things, I'm being called to say. Some may use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. This person had to pretend to be serious. You brought in a level of joy to this person that they were not familiar with. They weren't used to it. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, and you probably accepted them as they were, but did require a level of healing for this person to really come into some form of a union with you, because you can't accept less than that. Because you're busy over here trying to work on your own. The person has to be in union with that. They have to be in alignment with that. They literally lighten us up. Your person could have been a heavy person, just carrying all the burdens, and you're like, hey, quit being weird. Let's laugh. You know, quit thinking all those weird thoughts. Let's go. Thus, within, the comic is usually the sage or the magician working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals a deep division in our world, one pun at a time. Joy, jokes, and smiles are signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others. It can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. Now, you might have been like, rawr, you know what I mean? No. I will throw some shade. And maybe, you know, when in light, hilarious, ingenious, spirited and easygoing, but when dark, sarcastic, harsh, brooding, drunk. For me, yeah, I can be funny, and I can be brooding sometimes, and sarcastic, but I'm sober. And I'm very spirited and mostly easygoing. Okay, so those are the archetypes for you. Let's go ahead and read a little about, we got a hummingbird. Positive, enthusiastic, and spiritually resourceful. Ah, crap. So basically, this person up here in the 3D, you in the 5D, very, very much trying to enlighten this person as to their 5D gifts, their intuition, calling them to seek guidance from the divine so that they could come into their intuition. You, very heavy with yours, very good with yours. You know where to go to gather the nectar, right? When in balance, smart, curious, and loves to learn. And maybe when out of balance, pushy, insistent, and sharp. Okay, we have water, earth, and air, and fire. Let's see, what else, guys? With the whale. Let's go with the whale. This is going to go long today, so I'm sorry. I have been trying to do readings in all different ways. For those of you who enjoy shorter readings, this is not it today. Desire to delve deeper. Okay, with the scorpionic energy, Scorpios are very deep. And the spirituality of the hummingbird, yeah, you don't like surface level shit. And this person up here was very much used to surface level shit. That's what they try to bring to you. You were like, no, I'm much deeper than that. And you brought that out in this person, but it scared the crap out of them. It scared them to the point where they're like, I don't think I can handle this. This is too deep for me. We can't go this deep. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. You were probably excellent at communication where they were not. We can depend on whale personalities when all seems lost and trust them to be the beacon in the darkest hours. I'm telling you, with the storm and the whale and the hummingbird, you may have been a lighthouse and a catalyst for this person to wake the hell up. When out of balance, heavy slips into old story. When in balance, calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. To bring together into balance, regular self-care. So maybe right now you need to be focused on your self-care, taking very good care of, you. And with the Scorpion, let's see. Let's look and see here. Sorry, guys. Passionate, competitive, tense towards isolation. Again, that depth. With the depth comes, time to meditate, time to self-care, time to withdraw, and get with self, get with spirit. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. That's me. I have very, very few people in my inner circle. I don't allow that many people in because it messes with my energy. I'm not interested in having people within my circle that are going to disrupt my energy. And this person may have very much drained you of your vitality. You loved this person with all your heart, but their energy was exhausting because they needed so much, because they were not giving to themselves and they were constantly taking from you. Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they're left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to yourself. Fiery but fun. When out of balance, jealous, resentful, unresolved, but when in balance, wild and free and fierce. To bring into balance honesty and forgiveness. You may have to forgive this person for something that they did. With the anxiety, there's something that they haven't told you. With the apocalypse, this person is a walking tower, really. They have to be. And it's fine. Because we're all there at some point in our life. I don't feel like you were always this person. With the Whale, talking about having gone through many, many things, you've gone through some shit. And you've made your way up from it. You've rebuilt your life based on truths and learnings and all of that. And really come correct with it. And what you do need to do, I'm being called by Spirit to say, is that you need to learn to protect your energy better, though. So people can't drain you. Alright, let's go with the Energy Oracle and figure out what this is walking away in reverse is talking about. This card reverse signals that you may be feeling very stuck in some present situation or location. There may be a job or relationship that no longer resonates with you, yet out of habit or perhaps fear, you allow yourself to stay when it might be healthier to consider walking away. Habit and familiarity are compelling forces, often causing people to ignore their intuition and even dishonor their genuine feelings. This is a time of honest, there's the truth again, investigation. Consider all the factors in the present situation. Perhaps the timing isn't quite right, and there may be some purpose in staying a while longer. Don't deceive yourself about your motivations, however. Fear-based decisions don't often work out in your highest interest. You may be stuck in a long-term personal habit or unhealthy pattern. Be aware that you always have the option and the responsibility to let go of any thought or behavior that no longer honors you. When you walk away from negativity, you always move toward greater happiness. Right? And you may have had to walk away from this person, at least to give them time to decide what the hell they want to do with their life and to see if they're going to move into this healing piece. Because you couldn't sit stuck. You have a mission, and you know what that mission is. Adjacent Possibilities is warning you to be careful not to miss an unknown opportunity because you're too married to your agenda. It's also asking you to turn inward with a willingness to shake up your old unhealthy patterns and inner habits. The power of your life force moves through your deeply held habits, projecting your energy out to the universe and calling back your results. If you're too focused on this person and having this thing with this person, you're missing the fact that you're going to get your cornucopia no matter what. Even if this person doesn't come correct, the universe will bring someone in who is aligned with you. So they're up here in their free will, and we haven't gotten to them yet, but they're in their free will, and that's fine. They can come towards you and do their healing and all the things, but the adjacent, don't be so married to the situation with this person that you overlook beautiful things that the divine will bring into your life and that will align with what you've got going on. The power of your life force moves through your deeply held habits, projecting your energy out into the universe and calling back your results. In this way, your ongoing thoughts and beliefs are really your defining moments. And in every next moment, you have another energetic choice. So it's time to decide, are you going to let worry and self-doubt define you? Or are you going to step into the ever-present adjacent possibility of optimism, trust, and self-love? No matter how stuck you feel, you always have options in the thousands of choices you make every day. I want you to write this down. I am open and willing to take my life in new directions. I'm becoming more aware of my many options for harmony and optimisms in my thoughts and all my choices each day. I have to say, again, don't feel so bound to this person. I don't care who they are. It could be a twin flame, whatever. If they don't come into their purpose in this lifetime, you still have a purpose to serve, and you have karma to clear. Someone will come into alignment. Don't be so wrapped up in this person up here that you can't see other adjacent possibilities coming your way. This is going to go an hour long today. This is probably one of my longest readings in a long time, but it's necessary. Something's important. So let's look at the energy of anxiety for your person. We're moving into them now. The woman on this card is filled with anxiety, and it doesn't have to be a woman. Worrying about something that causes them a great deal of comfort. Receiving this card upright may indicate that they're experiencing a time of increasing stress, perhaps even in a situation that they find themselves brewing about much of the time. They have you on their mind. However, if you notice the scene outside the window, the storm is distant. It's distant and perhaps even moving away. Here's the storm. They see you walking away. As you walk away, they are having the anxiety, but it's also giving them time to reflect on the indecision that they've had in the past. That makes so much sense. Wow, thank you, Spirit, for connecting things. Whatever's going on, this card is telling you to release the worry and let yourself relax. Brooding and fretting will never solve things, so trust in yourself and your process. When you live with a relaxed heart and mind, you're far more likely to receive the solutions you seek. With the prayer, they are needing to release and maybe are releasing the anxiety of this situation for the time being so they can go into prayer about it, so they can become more decisive about it. Which choice to make? This card marks the presence of two or more possible choices in your life. It shows you anxiously, there's the anxiousness again, looking at two roads, wondering which would be the better choice. They're at a crossroads right now. They're standing still, feeling confused by the ups and downs, or the up and down emotions of their present indecision. They could spend days, months, or even years in the back and forth energy, all the while feeling the focus and life force energy draining away. You were there a lot to do with their energy. You gave them good energy, and they could see it walking away. This indecision creates a paralysis of will, analysis paralysis. One that can keep you stuck while you're waiting to be certain about the results of your choice. This person has had a very hard time. They like to do things methodically. They like control over things. They don't like the thought of leaping into something with both feet. They're not sure. If they're not certain about how something's like surface level shit, you can be pretty certain that it's going to stay that way. And if people start to ask more of you, you can walk. Because you're not emotionally invested. This person was extremely emotionally invested in you. This decision is one of the hardest decisions they've ever had to have in their life, I'm being called. The fragmented and confused energy that they've been sending now. Oh, wait. Sorry. It's time to let go of analysis and self-doubt that have been keeping them stuck. Meditate on their options and see where the spirits guide you. Yes, they've been getting in prayer about this. Consider that which direction resonates with you, both in process and in the goal. The goal. Follow your heart and make the honoring choice. That's what they're in right now. That's what they're going through. And let's see. Door to Romance, 33 in reverse. So, if they have tried to replace you in something, I'm being called to say that that is what is reflecting this. Or the fact that they are missing you. They know that they made a stupid decision. This card reversed indicates a delay or disappointment where love is concerned. In a present relationship, it could be a sign of distance or separation. Again, they feel separate from you. For some, the door to love may seem to have been shut for a long time, but the energetic universe is always in a state of flow or flux. Knowing this, they can work on making changes in their daily life that will bring you back, or bring more love into their experience. Remember to they need to make themselves and their own happiness a priority. They got to stop worrying about what other people think. Encourage yourself and always acknowledge how valuable and deserving they are of receiving their own love and that of others. They don't feel worthy of this. They're like, oh, I've been a shark. I've been a whole ass. I don't deserve this. And maybe they, like I said, need to bring you some form of truth. And you have to do the forgiveness piece. So tell the universe they're ready for real love because they're finally willing to give it. You're finally willing to give it to yourself. This person is. Such choices in your attitude and self-treatment will shift any energy of self-dismissal, changing the core consciousness in all that you attract. In order to attract you back in, though, they have to love themselves. They cannot meet you where they have not met themselves. They've got to learn that they are worthy of this. They have to know that no matter what, if it's for them, it will not pass them, and they are worthy of it. Maybe they didn't grow up feeling worthy of anything. You know, maybe they weren't loved appropriately. Let's go with the shark. Let's see. And I'll be damned, it opens right up to the freaking shark. Directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desire. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. They haven't been acknowledging their truths. They've been living dangerously. The card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. They need to tell you the truth about something. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes over us when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, wearing that mask, lying to people, or to say what we really want. Because you know what? They're afraid that it'll walk away forever. They feel like if they take that mask off, you're not going to like who they are underneath it all. Because at a soul level, at a core level, and at a level where their inner child learned that it's not okay to be yourself because you're too much or you're not enough, they're afraid to show that to anybody. I know. I've had to work through that. And I'm finally coming to the point where I'm okay with me. Like me or don't like me, I don't give a shit. Parents, everybody, anyone, all the peoples included, I don't care. You don't like me, too bad. I like me, and that's what's important. The divine loves me, and I love me. That's what's important. I don't care what you think is good or best for me. I need to rely on my own intuition, and that's where your person needs to get. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when the shark energy is at play, we feel a presence encircling us. They're sneaky and destructive when out of balance. To bring into balance, there's that truth again. Honesty. When in balance, intriguing, captivating, and mysterious. But when out of balance, sneaky and destructive. To bring into balance, honesty. That's beautiful. But your person's been in a sneaky energy for a lot of their life. They probably haven't been too terribly honest with most anybody. And most of all themselves. Mostly themselves. They've lied to themselves about what they want, what they need, who they are forever. Let's see. Hyena. Humor, wit, and sarcasm. So, again, we got the hyena. You guys are mirroring each other in certain regards. You got the comic, they got the hyena. Humor, wit, and sarcasm. The oh my god. throat chakra blockage big time. Your person has a very difficult time communicating. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser. People pleaser, I'm being called to say. But below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your resilience or sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, and suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. I'm being called to say that for some of your people, they could have addictions that are affecting this situation. Now, we're going to go straight to apocalypsis. Because, oh, no, prayer first. The worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When we are in a state of prayer, and when are we in a state of prayer, and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypically, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent, self-centered thinking that spins us towards illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. The one we created for ourselves to make ourselves comfortable and easier to digest for other people. And move into our true and authentic self that some people might not agree with. We may be speaking about things that make our family uncomfortable. Drawing up wounding. Calling out our parents for things that they did in our childhood that hurt us. If you didn't want to be the villain in my story, you should have treated me differently. Your person has been taught to make a person in their lives comfortable. A yes person, even if they're telling the lies. Some say we're in a state of prayer anytime we're not in the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it's time. Nothing else will do. Your person needs to get quiet within themselves and stop distracting themselves by outer things. When in light, offering to be of service and asking for guidance, your person feels very selfish. They need to be completely the opposite of that and come and offer themselves, their heart. What can I do for you? Rather than what can I take from you? When dark, expecting results and self-aggrandizement. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Agnamyo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. The Empress does also bow to her emperor, to their emperor. It's an energy, I'm called to say. Alright, and then the apocalypsis, wrapping us up here. Removing the veil of deception. There's the freaking truth again. Your person is so heavily deluded within themselves that they don't see the truth of anything. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, one that unfolds when two disparate dynamics occur simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposite directions. That's the indecision. The first is a lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come to the light, an element of despair and grief follows, because your mask is falling off. You can't rely on that mask to hide yourself anymore, because it doesn't align with you anymore. The old narrative breaks into new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to forest fires, devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of truth, a child is born. Have faith in the process. Hold on to your center. That is the only way. The card has a strong relationship to Aletheia. If both cards appear in one reading, you've got some real uncovering to do. Take heed. Your person has some real uncovering to do. There's no question. All kinds of things can be revealed during a time of apocalypse. From big global lies to little white ones that lace the bedroom sheets. Brace yourself for the horse of truth to storm your every field. When in light, the unknown becomes known and guides the way. When in dark, nihilism, fatalism, and hopelessness. Go deeper. Michael Mead's Why the World Doesn't End. In the movie, this is the end. Again, I'm strongly being called to tell you, keep doing what you're doing. Keep healing what you're healing. If your person, as you heal, if this is a twin flame dynamic, it only creates more of a drive for your person to do their healing too. Are you going to come into union? Who knows? It's dependent upon whether they do their healing or not. Or if they're willing to step into that, as hard as it is, because healing is not fun. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage. But if they want to be cowardly and wear the mask for the rest of their life, they can do that too if they'd like. But they're not. The divine is are calling them heavily to do the work that it takes to get right. You continue to do what you're doing. You continue healing and you continue doing whatever this beautiful thing is that's going to bring you your cornucopia, with or without this person. I love it. It's exciting. I'm so sorry for the enormity of this reading. It is super long, but I hope you guys have an amazing day. I am accepting readings. If you made it this far, put contest in the comments, and I will be pulling for a free reading about the halfway point of the month, because I forgot to do it last month. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Take care.